Hi everyone, welcome back to RTS Scrapbooking, and I think I'm on take 55. No joke, it's taking a long time, but we're going to go forth and have fun. So if you are new to my channel, like I am, go back and look at some of my other videos, look at my intro video. I do a lot of talking, you can see more about me there. Okay, so today at RTS, what are we going to do? We are going to review the supply. And the supply we're going to review today is a class/event that happens 3 times a year. And I'm talking about LOAD, L-O-A-D, which stands for Layout a Day. It is put on by the Scrap Happy membership and Alice, the most awesome lady in the world. She does a great job with this event. So you do not have to be a member of the Scrap Happy membership to do LOAD. If you're going to take the one in February or May, because it's held 3 times a year, February, May, and October, the one for February and May, you can just pay, take the event, that's all you need to do. But if you want to do the one in October, you do have to be a Scrap Happy member. I say if you're going to do at least one a year, just pay the Scrap Happy membership, excuse me, and that way you would have access to all 3, and most importantly, you would have access to all the previous loads, and that is a true bargain. Bargain, bargain. Okay, so I thought what I would do, excuse me, I think I need a drink, but if I stop this, it's going to take me another hour to get back started, so we're going to keep rolling. Okay, you can tell I'm new to this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link to everything below. Okay, so don't feel like you're going to miss out something. I'll put the link to Scrap Happy membership, the link to Alice, and all the wonderful things she does, and also to the LOAD event coming up in May. Okay, and maybe you're just seeing this in the middle of May. You can still jump on and take the class, because you can use the prompts even after May's over. It's all good. So the reason why I love this event, and like I said, I've been scrapbooking a long time. And this is something that I think every scrapbooker should take sometime, somewhere in their scrapbooking journey. It gives you a fresh look on how to look at your photos, look at a story differently, how to look at your product differently, how to maybe make connections with photos and a story that you never would have before. It is absolutely all that in a bag of chips. It really is. I enjoy this. So I'm going to not quite keep talking. I want to show some pages because I did the one in February. And did I have time to do the whole month? No, I didn't. I think I got 10 or 11 pages in. Then we went on a trip, came back, and I thought, well, I'll pick up where we left off. Well, I got sick. So that's okay. This summer, when I maybe have a little bit more time to scrap, or I want to, some different ideas for different stories, I'll just go back to my content and I'll pick up where I left off. You can do it however you want to do it. If you want to go into it thinking, well, I want to challenge myself to do something scrapbook related every day, that's great. You can go into the event thinking, I just want to maybe scrapbook with some other people, see what they're doing, and make 10 pages. It's all good. It's however you want to do that. And then there may be a day where you have a prompt and you're like, this really isn't speaking to me. That's okay. Go work on a Christmas page. Go do a 4th of July page. It don't matter. It's all good. And then when everybody shares what they're doing, it's very contagious. I love this event. So with that being said, I'm going to go quickly and show some layouts from this past LOAD event in February and also from previous years, so you can see, get a little idea of how it's done. Okay, so with this one was just this past February, and the prompt was something about saying goodbye, and I used leftover photos, which is what I find when I do LOAD events. I find that I use more leftover photos than I do any other time. I don't need a fresh stack of photos to do LOAD. You can. I just use leftover ones because I'm making connections with stories. And so this one, Alice she gives 2 or 3 prompts each day. And that's one thing I'll say right now about Alice. You're not waiting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon waiting for a prompt. It is there when you wake up in the morning. You just log in, see what the prompt is, watch the video, see what she has to say, and then you can think about it all day and work on it in the evening and just have fun with it. Okay, and then you load your page to the Flickr gallery and get in on some good prizes too. I mean, don't forget that. There's some really awesome prizes. Okay, so this one's about saying goodbye. I used some leftover photos. And then the prompt also too, I think was, oh, I know it was using multicolor product. And so I have a hard time using product that has multicolor, and so I took the prompt that Alice gave us, I connected it with something I'm, that I'm dealing with now, and I used older photos, and also too I made a mention about saying goodbye to Disney in 2010. No, missed that. So it's fun, just fun. Okay, so this one was this past load. And this one was about I hope I'm in frame, an unexpected relationship. And then also too, another part of the prompt was doing some hidden journaling. So this is something I like to do, but I get a little lazy about it. So it was one of those things, give you a kick in the butt, get it done. And again, leftover photos told a story. Would I have done this page? I have done other similar pages, something like this, but there is no way I would have took this story in the angle without the prompt that Alice gave us. Okay, here's a fun one, and it is one of those pages where I don't think this was this past February. I lose track, but it was one of those stories I wanted to tell about this movie that my family enjoys, but I just didn't take the time to do it. And so, you want to share things, and you want to, give yourself a challenge and get some stuff done. I took it off the back burner list and I got it done. Who doesn't like this movie? And I didn't have any of these photos. I just downloaded them from the internet. Okay, this was from this past February. And this is just, I hope I can get this in frame. This is just some photos of my Bible journaling that I do. And like I said, I would have gotten around to maybe doing this on a, scrapbook page or different things I do in my scrapbooking. But the title and the journaling and the way I took this, again, would not have happened without the load prompt. This was another one. I think it was a reflective page, or maybe someone you love, or I'm not quite sure. Or maybe it was using your stash in a different way. And this is just a photo I took of my husband, but the story in itself took on a whole different angle, and I am just so happy with it. This one was this past February, and this one was advice that you had gotten and that you never forgot. And so this is just a simple leftover page or leftover photo, and I put in the advice that my neighbor, I just love her, that she said to me, travel when you can, there may come a day you can't. And I have never forgotten that advice. And of course I used a leftover travel photo, and I just absolutely love how this turned out. I love it. Oh, this was a fun one. This was this past February too, and it was about taking a closer look. And it could have been taking a closer look at a relationship, a photograph, a place you went, your pets, anything. Just taking a closer look. And so what I did was I had this heritage photo. That's me right there. And I shared this with my family in the morning, and I sent them a text. I said, if you take a closer look at this photo, what do you see? And so my siblings said, oh, I see Dad's Northern Pike trophy, or I see our 4-H ribbons. And it ended up being like a 2 or 3 hour conversation with my siblings. And we talked about so many things from my childhood. And again, that phone conversation may have happened sometime, but it wouldn't have happened in the manner it did. And then I can translate that to a scrapbook page and keep that memory. Again, I can't say enough. And so that's exactly what I'll journal about. This was one of those other pages where a prompt led to an idea, and this was just taking some images from the internet and doing a page about the Nickelodeon shows my daughter used to watch when she was little, and it's like a childhood page type thing. And I had been wanting to do this for a long time, so it was that incentive, it was that push to get it done, and then to share with others. That's always fun. And then also I get into a lot of cooking videos. Oh my goodness, no, cooking layouts. And I would have eventually scrapbooked these because that's why I took the photo. And I think it was about something you had done for the first time. And so I wanted to learn how to make a pumpkin roll. And so it was fun how I got this done. And it was because of the prompt. This is another one. This was about relationships, and so this was some journaling. I wanted to talk about my brother Paul, and I think I might have done this layout in another challenge, But because of the load prompt, my journaling is the story. And so I love this. And everything I chose is representation of my brother. I love that. And like I said, the prompt just makes you think, and it looks like I lost something there. Oh, I think I lost something there. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, don't you just love that when you're missing something on a page? But we're going to keep going. But that'll bug me to no end. But we're going to keep going. Okay, this one again was about relationships, and I think it had something to do with your inner circle or who you let close and that type of thing. So this one, now remember I said with the prompts, you get to tell your story in a different way. But that's not always the case. In this case, the prompts really weren't relevant to me to that day, or they didn't really speak to me. But one of the other prompts was to do some stamping on your page. So what I did is I got out my doily stamps, and I got out my new platform, and I was playing around, and I would not have taken the time to do that if it wouldn't have been for the prompt and the load event. I would have just probably used a regular piece of pattern paper and went with it. So it's not just about relationships and connecting photos. It's also about just merely scrapbooking and using product in a different way, or using something you've had in your stash for a while and you just haven't taken the time to use it. Again, this is one of those layouts where the prompt, the title, and the journaling, which will be on a day when I'm not so emotional, talking about the ending of our journey of homeschooling and little kids going to college. But the title and the journaling is all because of the prompt and the way I took it. I would have scrapbooked that photo, of course, but I would not have took the title and the journaling I have planned. This was another one, and I don't even know if this followed a prompt per se. I think it might have had something to do with a color scheme, or mixing different patterns, or using something, or using leftovers on your desk. That's another one. I love that prompt when you use leftovers and use scraps, and I think that's what it was. And so again, I love how things like this come together. And then if I don't know what I want to journal quite yet, I can go back and look at some other prompts, and it will spark an idea for the journaling. I love when that happens. This was this past February, and it was about to scrapbook a weather event. And I would have included these photos in my monthly review, at least one of them. But I would not have done it in this manner, nor would I have used these swirls, which was the prompt. I would not have applied stickles, which was probably some of the prompt. And the way my husband is helping me with the journaling on this, it's because of the prompt. That's another one of those reflective pages, and my journaling will correspond with what the prompt was. And that's why it's good to have some of those just basic generic photos in your leftover bin, because it'll bring forth a story that you didn't even know you wanted to tell. And oh my goodness, yes, personal pages. How many of us put ourselves last on the list when it comes to scrapbooking? I'm raising my hand with you. I'll scrapbook about everything and everyone, but I'll put myself last on the list. And actually for this year, my goal was to do 12 pages of myself. So this was one of those ones. It was, you were to scrapbook about you, your life, your story, something. And so I did that. And so again, I would not have taken the time to do this. And this one, I think, was from last year. And it was about, I think it was a childhood memory or something like this. And for us and my little girl, it was Gilmore Girls. We loved watching that show. And so I took it, and I wanted to create this page for some time. It just gave me the incentive to do it. And I put it in here because I wanted to stress something. When you take load and you're thinking about a prompt, that doesn't mean you have to finish it in that day. You could take 3 days to do it. And in this case, that's exactly what happened. I wanted to get a little creative and use motifs and things that actually represented the show, because I've wanted to do this for a long time. And so I think I took 3 or 4 days to do this. Not that I had 3 or 4 days to sit down and do it. It's just maybe sometimes I only have 15 minutes at a time. And so when the page is done, then I go see where everybody else is in the class, and I just pick up on that prompt and run with it. You can honestly do this class however you wish to do it. You may look and just look at the prompt for Monday, and you can work on your page all week and load it and have fun with it. Okay, so last page. This was from this past February. And the reason I wanted to show this was because sometimes you may not have a photo to go with the story you want to tell, or you just can't think of something but you know what you want to say. It's okay. You do not have to have a photo to scrapbook. And in this case, I did not have a photo, but I knew what I wanted to say, and so that's what I did. Again, you can take the prompts any which way you want. Okay, so I just cannot say enough about the load event. I cannot say enough about the Scrap Happy membership. I cannot say enough about how Alice conducts these events. She's just Johnny on the spot. She has it all laid out. And again, I will have links to everything below, and there is one coming up in May. And hopefully I will have enough editing under my belt that this will get up before May. But if not, we're going to go with it, okay? Because, you know, there's one coming up in October. You may become a Scrap Happy member and take it and have fun with it and enjoy the other ladies because they are so inspiring. Everything is so exciting to see people, how, honestly, you can be given one prompt and 50 women will tell 50 different stories with 50 different photos, and it's from one prompt. It's just... like I said, I think if there's one class every scrapbooker should take, it's load. Without a doubt, it's load. So all the links to everything I'm talking about will be below. If there's any discounts, I will try to list them below. And honestly, do yourself a favor, do your scrapbooking a favor, and check out this event. If you have any questions, just email Alice. She's more than happy to answer any question you have. Okay, so I think that's all I have. I hope this did not get too long. Like I said, this might be take 56 by the time I'm done, but that's okay. We're just going to go and have fun. But I did want to share a little bit more about load, some pages I just had finished, and to stress the importance of looking into this, especially if you feel like you're scrapbooking or your whole process is in a rut, or maybe you just need to take a new class, or just look at things a different way, or maybe you have boxes and boxes of leftover photos and you think, maybe I should just chuck them. No, honestly, take a load event. You will look at your leftover photos in a whole nother way. So that's all I have. Again, I hope it wasn't too much talking. Thanks for coming by RTS today, and come back because you never know what we're going to learn. Bye.